A Certain Magical Index, Vol.1, Ch.2, Part 2. The following morning, she really did develop flu-like symptoms. Index sprawled on the floor, beset by a fever and headache. It wasn't a virus, since her nose wasn't running and her throat didn't hurt. She was just recovering her life force. So in other words, no matter how much cold medicine she took to bolster her immunity, it wouldn't do jack. So why aren't you wearing pants exactly? Index, a moist towel on her forehead, thrust one leg out from under her futon towards Kamijo, unable to bear the heat. Even though she wore light green pajamas, he could see her thigh almost up to her waist. Her skin was brilliant, eye-piercing, and pink from her fever. Miss Komoe dunked the now lukewarm towel from Index's forehead into a washbowl and glared at Kamijo. Kami, teacher thought that those clothes were just a bit too much. Those clothes meaning Index's safety pin bespotted white habit. Kamijo was in full agreement with her on that point, but Index had grown accustomed to wearing the habit. When they'd taken it away, she'd looked like an annoyed cat. So wait, why does a beer-guzzling, chain-smoking adult have pajamas that fit Index perfectly? Just how much of an age difference is there between you two? Miss Komoe, age unknown, was flabbergasted, and Index butted in as if to cover for her. Don't belittle me. I think these pajamas are a little tight around the waist, even for me. What? Impossible! You're bugging me. You're making fun of me too much. I won't take that. Wait, you have a chest for pajamas to be tied around. The two ladies glared at him. Kamijo defensively fell back on his soul-crushing head-to-the-floor bowing pose. That's what I thought. By the way, Kami, how are you and this girl related? She's my younger sister. That's an obvious lie. She's a silver-haired, blue-eyed foreigner. It's not by blood. Are you a pervert? It was a joke, I get it. I know that dating an in-law is improper, but real is legal. Ah, jeez. Kami, she prompted, adopting her educator's tone. He shut his mouth. Well, of course Miss Komoe would want to know what's going on here. After all, he'd carried a complete stranger into her apartment, one with a more than slightly suspicious sword wound in her back, after which she'd been forced to take part in some weird magic hokum that she didn't understand. It was probably too much to ask her to turn a blind eye to it all. Teacher, can I ask a question? What is it? Are you asking because you want to report it to the police or the board of directors of Academy City? Yep, Miss Komoe answered promptly, nodding. She hadn't hesitated a second to inform a student she would sell him out. I don't know what kind of trouble you two have gotten yourselves into, Miss Komoe smiled. But if it's something that happened in Academy City, the responsibility of dealing with it falls on us teachers. It's an adult's duty to see to the welfare of children. Now that she knows you two are endangered, teacher will not keep quiet about it. Such was Komoe Tsukuyomi's declaration. Even though she had no strange powers, no physical strength, and no authority, she spoke with such directness, such correctness, as if she were a blade of integrity speeding directly for its target. I'm no match for her, confessed Kamijo to himself. Although he was on the back half of 2 decades worth of life experience, he couldn't think of anyone else quite like this teacher. There weren't even characters like her in movies or TV dramas anymore. Miss Komoe, if you were a complete stranger, I'd involve you as much as necessary, but since I owe you for the magic, I don't want to involve you any further. Kamijo decided to be straight with her. He didn't want to watch another person shielding without expecting anything in return, only to see her get hurt. Miss Komoe paused briefly. Teacher won't stand for such meaningless posturing, okay? Wait, teacher, why are you getting up? Where are you going? I'm granting you a stay of execution. Teacher's going to the supermarket to buy breakfast. Until I get back, Kami, figure out what you want to tell me and how to explain it clearly, okay? And your teacher might get wrapped up in her shopping and completely forget about it. When I get back, make sure you initiate the conversation yourself like an adult, okay? Kamijo thought she was smiling. The door slammed shut, leaving Kamijo and Index alone. Maybe she did that for us. For some reason, when he pictured her childlike plotting face, he got the sudden feeling she might actually forget everything by the time she returned. Still, if he ever needed her advice later, she'd probably jump down his throat, shouting something along the lines of, "Why didn't you tell me before? I'd completely forgotten," before gladly hearing him out. He sighed and turned back to Index, still resting on the futon. Sorry, I know this isn't the time to be worrying about being cool. No, you are right. Index shook her head slightly. We shouldn't involve her any further. Besides, she can't use magic anymore. Kamijo frowned. Grimoires are dangerous, you know. The uncommon sense written into them breaks the laws of nature. They're from a different world. It's not that they're good or evil, but that they're poisonous to this world. Index explained that just gleaning knowledge from the other world could destroy someone's mind. Maybe it's something like trying to force a program to run on an operating system it's not designed for. Kamijo wondered, trying to come up with an analogy he could understand. My mind is protected by the church's defenses. Sorcerers strive to exceed their human limitations, and common sense itself to reach their goal, which drives them mad. But since Japan is so unindoctrinated in terms of religion, if a Japanese person, if she recited that incantation one more time, she'd be done for. He tried to not let his shock show on his face. That's kind of a shame. I thought we could just make teacher into an alchemist or something. I know about alchemists. They can turn lead into gold, right? Secretly, his source for this factoid was an item-oriented RPG whose main character was an alchemist. They can perform Ars Magna, but if you gathered the necessary ingredients and tools these days, in terms of Japanese currency, it would cost them around, 7 trillion yen. Well, that's completely pointless. Kamijo grumbled as if his soul had left his body. Index smiled. Yep, it is. The only people who'd be happy you did it would be nobles. But, when you really think about alchemy, what is it even? What's the principle behind it? To convert lead into gold, wouldn't you have to rebuild its atomic structure from Pt.2 or something? I'm not really sure, but it's just 14th century technology, you know.
Okay, I am completely finished with this farce. Where's my tea? This went cold. Yes, a certain magical index still not happening. Science curses. This 6.5 minute video, it's 3 pages, and this entire chapter part is 15.5 pages. I was not even editing and took 15 minutes of my bloody life. So yes, punked, April Fools, it's a prank, bro. Index not happening. I should be able to get to Log Horizon if I can remind myself and stop playing video games for 5 minutes so I can actually get to editing that. So, again, you can shut off the video. The rest of it's just going to be dead air to make it seem as if I did a video.